Alright, a video. Not a physics video. Just necessary, unfortunately, because the trolls are just escalating the game. So I pointed out how I have sued before. I wasn't unsuccessful in the sense that I had judges lie on the record. I got federal judges kicked off of cases. Lots of illegal procedures going on by the council and the state and the judges, and that was all demonstrated. It's all on the record, and it's all recorded history, and it's all a fact. It's also a fact that places like Fox News did a story on the case when I was put on a watch list because I merely pointed out the judge is violating my constitutional rights. But they never did a story when that very judge, got kicked off the case. That wasn't a story. See, and that's just the same story these liars tell, the trolls. They make up facts that aren't facts. They're just liars. They're guilty of slander and libel. And those things are illegal. Newsflash. Not only against YouTube's terms of service. I mean, yes, you're overtly violating those all the time. But you're violating my rights, okay? And you're committing crimes. And you think nobody's going to prosecute you. Well, I'm overtly telling you, I've done it before. Okay, so yeah, I'm willing to do it. If you're going to force the issue. Now, I don't want to waste it'll cost at least $2,000, $3,000 maybe. But you have to pay for lots of things. You don't accept your subpoena, so I have to pay up front for a marshal. And I'll get the money back when you lose, okay? Because when the marshal does serve you, the judge will force you to pay for it because you're supposed to accept mail, and you're not supposed to reject a subpoena. Lots of things like that will go on, and it happened before. And so this logical empirist has made a whole bunch of lie statements, just full of lies, on the troll Fartley's channel. And I don't know, what are you thinking? He thinks he's smart. So he thinks slander and libel are smart things to do. It's what a smart person does. And he thinks somehow all this crap about my personal life has something to do with making a response video to a physics conversation. All right, so let's understand what he's supporting. He's supporting the troll Fartley, who has now resorted to, posting images of my house, hiding my address in different locations, clearly using my name for no good reason but to threaten my security, right? There's no other reason somebody uses my full name except to threaten my security, right? What other reason is there? So you're going to have to explain to a judge what your reasoning is. What did you think anyone on earth, how would anybody benefit from knowing my actual name except if they wanted to threaten my security? That's it. There's no other reason to know who I am and where I live other than to threaten my security. So what are you going to say to the judge? What's going to be your explanation, shithead, except that, oh yeah, I took a free shot because I thought it was for free. Well, I'm telling you, it's not going to be for free, asshole. I have every intention of making trolls like you pay for your lies. You lying scum. You are what's wrong with the fucking planet Earth. Is that lying scum like you aren't pilloried. Because that's what you deserve. You suck as a human being to resort to this bullshit. Lies, doxing people, and then Fartley put images of my family in the video. Who? What kind of decent human being, what kind of even not decent human being thinks that's anything else but a coward's tactic? I mean, he's got to pick on my sisters? My little girly sisters? He has to pick on them now? He has to threaten them? He has to threaten their security? Because he knows who's watching these videos. The only people watching these drama videos are fucking lunatics. Fucking psychotic little wormheads with all kinds of crap going on in their head. This is the only people he's inciting. He knows it. He knows it. Okay? There's no benefit to doing this except to threaten my family. What other purpose is there? I'm going to get to you by attacking your family, and you assholes still comment. Thanks for the video. Thanks for what? Do you understand what you're defending, you fucking kooks? So I'm just telling you, logical imperialist. Yes, it's really easy to add co-defendants. It's really easy. You just put an and another name, and then and another name, and another name. It's just as much work to sue 10 people as it is to sue one person. So I'm just letting all you assholes know, okay? Farley's pushing the envelope. He's saying, sue me now. He's going to force me to do it because he's going to get more and more personal. He's, you know, and he's going to cheat and break the rules more and more. And so you got to stop it. So that I got no choice. So he's going to push me. All right. So maybe in a couple months it'll happen. Again, I don't want to waste the money. Maybe I can get a lawyer to work for free. I mean, maybe I can get a lawyer just to let me use his letterhead. You know, I'll do all the hard work. I'll write all the papers. I'll fill out all the forms, do all the horse shit. And I just use his letterhead just so the judge doesn't cheat and say, pro se, fuck you. You can't be a pro se. You're not allowed to be a pro se. Because that's all that happened. Okay, in all my court experiences, it really just came down to judges hate pro se plaintiffs. You're not allowed as a pro se. You can defend yourself, but you can't prosecute a case as a pro se. They find it horribly offensive. Anyway, so I'm just saying, you know, I've made it clear. As soon as I have more than enough money to live decently, I'm suing you. Okay, I'm pointing it out. The only thing stopping me is to do it right. It's going to cost 10 grand. Okay, to actually sue somebody for libel, you got to pay a lot of money. All right, because it's a process and they drag it out, and that's why there's so little case law. None of these cases at YouTube have ever gone to trial because it just gets too expensive and everybody just gives the fuck up. That's simple. But you deserve to be punished, and especially this asshole talking about my disability and lying about it. That's way too personal. It's protected territory. First, my medical records are protected territory. Because I am disabled, I don't have to go around proving it everywhere. That's part of the, you know, the whole concept of the ADA was to say, you know, disabled people don't have to keep proving it. Everywhere they go, they have to prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. That shit is supposed to be done away with. Okay? I don't have to prove anything to you, you fucking cunt. You can believe anything you want. But I don't have to sit there and answer your lies. You're not allowed to keep lying and force me to defend myself against your fucking lies. Alright. So I'll read some of this in that context. I mean, I guess, you know, I have, my name has been mentioned on videos. It doesn't mean that now I gave it to the public domain and that you're allowed to use it. You still have to explain why you're using it. There has to be a reasoning. Okay, what you see. So when I'm overtly saying don't do it, okay, clearly you have to have some reason to do it against my wishes. I still own my name. Okay, it's my copyright until otherwise. So until you prove a fair use, what is your fair use for my name? Do you have any? You don't have any, and that's a fact. Okay, anyway. I believe he even argued to suffer from social anxiety. That's not what they call it, but I have an anxiety disorder, fuckhead. That's what I've called it. That's what I've called it. So again, you pervert my statement. I never called it a social anxiety. I might have said it once or twice, but I mean, most of the time I just point out it's a anxiety disorder. That is, I have a physiological reaction. I've compared it to vertigo. I have a physiological reaction that I can't explain. All right? That just makes it impossible for me to be comfortable. And it's just a fact. And it's a tragedy, a horror, a terrible thing to live with, and I have some asshole sitting there telling me I don't have it. You don't see how obnoxious that is, you fuck? I mean, I can't even go into how narrow it made my life. And this fucker, this piece of fucking garbage from way out there somewhere is going to tell everybody it ain't true with no evidence and lies. Okay. As a sufferer of social anxiety, says you, I can quite vehemently say that I don't see any evidence of him suffer from social anxiety on the screen. Well, wouldn't you think the evidence would be partly in the form of the fact that every single walk and talk video I did was in the woods? Because there's no people there? Wow, I mean, just amazing horseshit. He sees no evidence. That's not my job. I didn't know I had to prove I had an anxiety disorder when I was making the videos. That wasn't the agenda of the videos, was it, you idiot? I mean, he thinks he's intelligent. He's the dumbest fucker. Anyway, How are you doing? I doubt this is a social anxiety as such. So because I said, how am I doing to people, and I mean, like I said, this diagnosis is insanely stupid. And frankly, it's none of your business, and you really have no excuse for doing this. Again, I don't have to defend it to you. And I certainly don't have to defend it against lies. All right, I don't see that in Mendham. I don't see that in Mendham. It's just a joke. He brags himself. He didn't have sex when he was younger. It's not what I said, and I don't brag about it, so that's just a bizarre statement. What I said is when I finally got to the point of saying, yeah, it'd be really cool. You know, at first I didn't get into relationships because I found it kind of daunting. I thought it was kind of a big thing. The idea of just trivial sex didn't make any sense to me, so I just couldn't imagine that you didn't have to have something in common with the person and want to do it the next day and the next day and the next day. So I just thought it had to be a real relationship, so I was a little cautious. And then when I finally said, oh, fuck being cautious, yeah, then I was already damaged goods. I mean, you can't really sell yourself as a great date when you can't go out anywhere. Girls really don't like that. They like to go out dancing and like go to parties and like to show you off and like you to be entertaining and like you to do all this stuff. And if you can't do that whole peacock thing anywhere but in private, they're not too interested, frankly. So, yeah, it really did hurt my social life, asshole. Yeah, it really did. You lying sack of fucking cunt shit. Anyway, so a judge could not conclude that he is still an incel. I wouldn't even call myself anything like that anyway. I don't have to prove anything to the judge except show him the medical records first of all. And as a rational argument, do you think it's going to be very hard to make the rational argument that there's a factual record that I have never been seen more than a mile from my house for 30 years? You don't think that factual record might indicate there's some reason he never went a mile from his house in 30 fucking years? I mean, you're such a fucking idiot. Okay, then Gary said after he got the disability pay, he no longer could hunt for chicks. So I never said any such thing, so it's just a lie. Had nothing to do with when I went on disability. I didn't go on disability till 10 years after I had already been ruined by the disability. So I didn't file until I ran out of the money I had saved working. I had 50 grand in the bank, okay, and I lived off that. And this is when I was 18 years old. So all these assholes who say I didn't work, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, bull fucking shit. I worked from the time I was 11 years old, and I worked damn fucking hard, and I saved every fucking penny. And that whole life went right down the toilet. Again, I had already paid my admission to college. You know, this is when all this fucking happened. I had been accepted at LSU. My bags were packed. I had actually been given, as a graduation from high school present, luggage of all fucking things. Luggage. All right, and my anxiety disorder had started to get so bad I couldn't do staircases, I couldn't drive more than 10 miles, I couldn't do a ton of things, and so going to college just didn't seem like it was going to happen. And to me, yes, it's all a very sad and tragic personal story, and I shouldn't have to fucking goddamn tell it. And the only reason why I'm telling it is because you're lying about it, you fucking cunt. And you can't see how fucking irritating this is? It's none of your fucking goddamn business, yet I have to answer your fucking lies? Alright. Yeah, okay. Because then he would become obvious he's not a sufferer from the social anxiety. So that's enough to say right there, okay? You've done a silly little assertion. You've made a fucking direct accusation here. You've connected it together with some kind of lame and idiotic argument that you somehow have evidence that this is the truth. It's not the fucking goddamn truth. It's not the real fucking goddamn story. And you have no right to lie about my disability, you fuck! Alright. I'd say in Mendham's condition is definitely to be found in the CD, whatever this is, and not under social anxiety. I'm just saying, okay, so now he's better than the psychiatrist. He knows better. Does he have a right to do this? Does anybody think anybody should be doing this shit on the public internet? I don't think any reasonable judge is going to think so. Okay, oh, I have just discovered your channel here. I have been following him for more than 10 years. So this is the whole point, right? Yes, you're obviously a psychotic, right? Because he's not following for the content. He's following for the psychology. Okay, this is your Son of Sam kind of personality here. Okay, these are the kind of aberrant weirdos, okay, yeah, who go postal. Anyway, I have watched, and these are the kind of people threatening my security. And I think Judge is going to realize that's exactly what they're doing. They're attacking my security. They can't attack my arguments. They can't attack my videos, so they have to attack my personal safety and the safety of anyone else living in the house I happen to be living in. They're going after them, and you assholes are rewarding these fuckers. You're giving them views, and you're commenting on their slop. Why? You fucking dumbasses. That should be part of the record, is everybody who commented on his fucking videos and every fucking sock account they have and every other fucking comment they made on the fucking goddamn internet. So that's all going to be part of the trial if this asshole provokes it. One more fucking goddamn violation of my fucking rights and he's going to provoke it. Alright. Although with draft science stuff lately, I don't bother because he seldomly addresses personal issues in the videos. So this asshole thinks there's somebody on the internet who sits there and has a life of some kind who addresses personal issues. No, anyone with a life, I mean anybody doing physics or doing philosophy or doing something important is not making videos about their fucking psychological problems, shithead. So why the fuck, I mean, all you can do is block these assholes and they don't care. They still won't leave you alone. It can be a help in soothing out Emendham's psychology, whatever. You lying about me certainly doesn't do that. I wouldn't bother with the Jones R videos. Well, first of all, he doesn't have rights to them. Second of all, they were taken down by YouTube, and he's putting them back up against their terms of service. And so I don't know what ground they fall in, but clearly they're slander. So again, I mean, this whole put Hitler mustaches and swastikas and images is okay horse shit, just doesn't sell. All right, you're not allowed to do that for free. All right, somebody does have a right to be damn pissed off. Okay, that's dueling kind of crap. Those kind of fucking accusations. All right, I've said a lot of things about the Holocaust, different issues about, I have my own opinions. Not one single one of those opinions was the Jews deserved it. Jews suck. Jews did anything. I haven't defended a single goddamn factual thing the Nazis did to the fucking goddamn Jews. I haven't defended one single fucking thing. Not the slums, not the Star of David, not the, disemploy, not the disinherit. None of it. I've defended absolutely none of it. There's absolutely no evidence that I have any bigotry against goddamn fucking Jews, and you have no right to make this accusation, you fucking liar. Okay. I agree, however, with the other critiques in Emendham on your channel. I don't even know what that is. So he says because they fall flat and are obvious satire. What do you mean they're satire? It's not satire, okay? Making the accusation that somebody is a goddamn, I mean, what are you going to say? I can make a thousand arguments about how it's not satire when you malign a group or when you do this or when you do that and you take these cliche shots. It's not satire. It's offensive accusation. And that's all it is. Why do I bother with Emendham? ? Why do you bother with your special life and your special thing? Why does Emendham provoke this interest? Anyway, because he's fascinating as a character. What? As a human being who doesn't like fucking weasels. Little dirty stinking weasels who can't win a fucking argument. Sitting there playing with his identity, his reputation, spouting all these fucking lies. Oh, he reacts to that. That makes it interesting. Fuck you. Alright. He has managed to keep me watching and downvoting his videos for more than 5 years now. Yeah, that would be another thing that'll come. I'm definitely subpoenaing. Who hit the buttons? Who hit these idiotic buttons on these idiotic videos? He blocked every channel of mine. Yeah, right, because you're a liar. And I clearly said it. The latest in 2015. Well, that's just a lie right there. You can't even get any dates right. I blocked you just a couple of months ago, you fucking liar. Okay, since then I have only been watching and downvoting videos, but have not been interacted with the guy. Just amazing. He mentions me in some comment videos he does on other YouTube users, however. I don't see how I mentioned somebody else when I'm mentioning you in the comment, jackass. So here he places my name in the video. So again, just know the judge is going to ask you, why did you do that? And you're going to have some kind of explanation that it has some other purpose than to weaken my personal security. What other purpose does it have, fuckhead? Can you make some sort of reasonable argument to a judge that somehow everybody needs to know that? Why? Why does anybody need to know it? Why does it ever have to be mentioned? I never mention it in my video. I never say this is. I'm not copywriting or selling myself under that name. It's nowhere on my Draft Physics channel or the Amendum channel. It's not relevant to any of the content. So what are you going to tell the judge? Why did you use my full name? You don't own my name. What's your purpose in using it on this medium? Where we know this medium, that's called doxing. That's called something nobody wants to be caught doing. It's a bad thing to be doing. Why are you doing it? Alright, is the most vitriolic and abusive son of a bitch here on YouTube. Yeah, I'm the most hate liars on YouTube, okay? I hate liars more than anybody else, and you're a fucking liar. And you're going to get what you deserve eventually, fuckhead. I think right always does win in the end. Okay, yeah, I think logic and truth and facts will win, and you're going to be on the bottom of that fucking pile, shithead. If I have my dream come true, you'll be one of the assholes that human beings in posterity, they'll have a grave with your name on it somewhere, you know, a little marker representing you, a fountain, let's say, and there'll be your name on it, okay? And I'll be thanking people for taking a good long piss on your fucking name, because you were a hunk of shit as a human being, you lying sack of crap. Okay. He first did GNews, where he published information about town hall meetings in Mendham. So that's a fucking lie. You know, but just amazing, these lies, just lie after lie after lie. The good news was not about the Mendham news. It was about national news, you liar. Okay, he visited these meetings. So there you go again. Where did you get that fact from, shithead? Because it's not correct. I never saw any of the council members in person. I met the mayor once, okay, when he came to my house, and I did a free website for the town, which they never paid me for. I mean, I did the work for free. They never paid me for the hosting costs, which they were supposed to, which they had contracted to pay me for. Okay, until he got banned from these meetings. I never got banned from the meetings. That's another lie. So how many of these are you going to be guilty of? You're sitting here trying to make an argument that I've done something wrong in my life, and no, you're not going to make that argument, shithead, because it's not fucking goddamn true. They raped me. I didn't rape anybody, and it's in the facts. Okay, I've got sworn statements. I've got them lying on tape. Okay, they're on tape lying. I've got them. So this is just all horse shit. Okay, not me. I'm not on tape lying. All right. Apparently for his vitriol and abusiveness. So that whole sentence is a fucking lie. Never happened, shithead. Not a shred of evidence anywhere indicating it. You can't blame somebody else. How are you going to source that? So when the judge asked you, where did you get this information from? Walter Cronkite? No. Where did you get it? You're not going to be able to source it, because I haven't even heard the liar say quite that before. You just made that crap up. You lying sack of shit. Okay, so yeah, no, this is just a huge, giant lie. It never happened, ever. What a council member did say is we should stop reading his letters because he pays rent and therefore he doesn't pay property taxes. So the council member was too stupid to realize that, yes, property taxes are built into rent. Obviously, when somebody rents a property, they account for their expenses in deciding how much the rent is going to be. So renters do pay property taxes. You know. But that's, you know, and you don't think there's something incredibly weaselly about a council member saying, oh no, although he lives in our town, he shouldn't have the right to speak like everybody else or to write a letter. You're on his side, the council member side. Fuck you. I mean, this is the dirt that lives. I mean, this is why I am so cynical. Human beings suck. So profoundly suck. Okay, the Old in Mendham website features a portrayal of Mendham, New Jersey, and its news, history, nature, and talent. Yeah, that's right. It has its history. It has a whole bunch of information on it. And guess what? Not a single fucking lie on the website. It even says it on the homepage, something like that. Yes, information without the fucking propaganda and without the lies. Yeah, because that's what everybody else provides. Lies. I had to sue the town just to get the recorded. They had tape recordings of the public meetings, and they wouldn't give me the tape recordings. I had to sue them to get the fucking tape recordings. That's how bad this fucking planet is. Another episode was he sued to end tobacco tax tyranny. Of course, the case got thrown out. Well, that's a lie. It didn't get thrown out. There was a decision in the case, but clearly the decision in the case is the judge saying, yeah, I told you couldn't argue constitutional rights, but yeah, you could. I was wrong. But he didn't let me re-argue the case. So he told me in a phone call, a legal phone call. He made an illegal phone call to me off the record, telling me I couldn't argue federal constitutional. I couldn't argue what's in the federal constitution in the case because it was a state tax law. And, I counter-argued, I'm allowed to argue federal constitution anywhere. That's why you have an oath to swear to the Constitution of the United States, no matter what your job is, like, tax collector in a small town. You still have to swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That's right. So I'm allowed to bring up constitutional law in every court, any court. And this fucking judge tried to convince me otherwise. And the only way I got him to admit it was he knew I had a tape recorder of the phone call. And he was a little pissed about it, but he knew the law couldn't do anything about that either. He made an illegal phone call to extort me out of my constitutional rights. Then in the fucking final decision, he admits that's what he did and then decides against the case. Right? But there's no argument of any of the facts of the case. So another, you people are just such liars. Like somehow there was a rational decision was reached. Well, why don't you recite the rational decision? Why don't you deal with one single point at issue in the case and show how the judge answered it? Because there wasn't any fucking answers, you fucking liars. So again, every time they say it's a frivolous lawsuit, it's a lie. No judge ever said any of my legal actions were frivolous. It's not a fact. It's a legal term. You're using it inappropriately. You're lying. You're slandering and libeling me, okay, by saying it. Keep doing it, you fucking liars, and force me to sue you. There's nothing else going to happen here except you're going to force me to fucking sue you because you won't stop lying. Okay. Inman was an interested fellow, so keep watching. Yeah, fuck you. You're not an interesting fellow. You're too stupid to know what libel and slander are. You're too stupid to know what lying sucks. You're too stupid to know that fucking picking on my sisters is really fucking goddamn petty and stupid. You're a fucking piece of human garbage. Okay, and if I ran the world, you'd be where garbage should be. At the bottom of the sea. Alright. So let's see what Farley said. Thanks for the comment. Gary said at different times he has social anxiety disorder and agoraphobia. What I said is that I'm diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. Okay, and it's actually called a severe personality disorder. But regardless, it's not a fair subject. It's tangentially mentioned just to give some people some context that this is why I make videos in a basement, or this is why I have limited this. Is because that's my life, for fuck's sake. And it's unfortunate, sad, and tragic, but there is absolutely no evidence that I have any will to discuss my fucking anxiety disorder. I didn't make the anxiety disorder page. I didn't make the anxiety disorder channel. Okay? I'm not interested in discussing my personal fucking health with you fucking morons. It's none of your fucking business. My medical condition is none of your fucking business. What about that don't you understand? Oh, amazing. Okay. Let's see. He gets pissed and threatened to sue anyone questioning his ADA status. Well, I'm just, no, that's not what, did I get pissed because you're questioning it? No, I guess pissed because you're denying its existence entirely and pretending you have a right to meddle in these issues, that this is your territory, that you have a right to interrogate my disability. You don't have any fucking goddamn right. And you have no right to interrogate me on my finances or any of this other personal shit, you fuck. Alright. But refers to Asperger's syndrome as made-up disorder invented by assholes trying to excuse their assholish behavior. Yes, well, pretty much that is my opinion. While spending over a decade being an asshole on YouTube. Whether I'm an asshole on YouTube is fair game. Go ahead, make some argument about what I actually say instead of your fucking profound lies. And again, my personal life really isn't any of your fucking business. Alright, I think Jones are and his videos are funny. Well, of course you would. Okay, because that's the kind of shit you are. You know, shitters eat shit. You're just but a poo eater. Okay. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Again, yes, they were. Just like I have your quote, I have Joneser quotes. Okay, there was plenty of Joneser quotes that I was taking to court, and I have plenty of your quotes. So I have your quote in your video where you say, I'm not calling him an anti-Semite. Oh yeah, I am. So I have that quote, shithead. All right, so you're fucked on the subject of pretending you're doing satire. You intend to slander me and libel me with an accusation that isn't fucking true. That's what you intend to do, and I'm going to prove that's what you intended to fucking goddamn do. Out of your own fucking mouth, asshole. Okay, but then again, Gary doesn't deserve to be taken seriously. He's a joke. Well, you're not making joke videos, you're making accusation videos, so I guess you don't know the difference, which makes you a pretty pitiful character, fuckface, because I'm pretty goddamn sure if I had your real name and I played these motherfucking goddamn games with your fucking life, you'd get it. You'd figure out how I don't like this. This isn't the way it should be. He shouldn't be doing this. You'd get it pretty fucking goddamn fast, and I think a judge will be able to explain it to you. That, yeah, most civil human beings understand when they're being threatened by an asshole. And that's exactly what you're doing, and that's only what you're goddamn doing. You're trying to shut me up, okay, by making my life uncomfortable, and you have no right to do that. That's extortion, fucker. Alright. So I'm just saying, yes, if you people wish to keep piling on, just pile on. Again, all of this will be part of what's subpoenaed, all these little jackass comments, all you little assholes hiding. You'll all have to account for your contribution to the pile of shit. And again, it doesn't take any more work, okay, to present the case against one person as it takes to present the case against 6 or 7 or 10. So go ahead, collect yourself in a nice little bunch. Okay, and you'll get what you fucking goddamn deserve. But fuck you, logical imperialist. This pile of shit, lying sack of shit comment has, yes, you'll get what you deserve for it. Which is spanking. Alright, so that's all. And again, I mean, the whole purpose of me making this video is just to give you fair warning. I have sued before. I will do it if I have to. It will be a colossal waste of motherfucking money, and that pisses me off. But the legal system is profoundly broken, and it needs more people in it. It needs more people to sue and to point out just how crooked and corrupt and lying and shystery the judges are. The biases are all over the place. The decisions are horse shit. The whole thing needs to be exposed, so it would be worth, it's a cause worth playing with in that sense. So I can justify it if that's what it comes to, because it'll be another education in corruption, because we'll see lots of bullshit, no doubt. But yeah, who wants to waste the goddamn money on these fucking assholes? And I shouldn't have to waste the money because YouTube should clean this shit up. I mean, they have it right in their terms of service. You're not supposed to make a channel devoted to harassing people. What the fuck else is his channel but devoted to harassing people? I mean, fuck. And again, understand the context here. If he can do this shit to me, he can do it. They can do it to anybody who shows up on the internet. And this is just, these are people who hate our freedom. They don't want people to make YouTube channels and speak their mind. They don't want them to talk honestly or from their heart or from reality. They want to make it all performance art and all bullshit and all sterile and all as distant from real personalities as possible. That's what their objective is to shut everybody up. Because who the fuck would walk, if I would have known this is what YouTube is, yeah, I probably would have said, oh, I'll make videos somewhere else. Why should I make videos on a platform that lets people do this shit? Alright, anyway. I mean, it's idiotic to give trolls all of this fucking power. Anyway. The end. It's totally unnecessary. Waste of fucking time and waste, of energy. And like I said, I haven't let it get to me. The only reason I'm responding is because somebody told me about the comment. I'm not watching it all. I know other people are saving it all, so that's fine. The record will be there. I want to subpoena more I want the whole record from YouTube. That's what I'm going to sue based on. Because this is obviously, these people don't tell these stupid stories, right? There's stories about something with the high school. They think something happened between me and the high school. I have overtly stated, the day I left high school when I was 18, I never was within, I don't know, 500 yards of the high school since that day. Okay, the day I walked out with my diploma, it was the middle of the summer, right? Because I didn't go to my graduation. Another thing I didn't go to because I had an anxiety disorder. But anyway, the only person not there, right? I was the only person missing out of my whole graduating class. I mean, it just gets so stupid, right? That you have to even talk about any of this shit. But there's no relationship between me and the high school. None. Zero. Never, no incident, no anything. And yet they keep bringing this shit up because somebody made a fake call to the police saying, there was some bomb threat against the high school or something because of one of my videos. And the cops came to my door and said, did you threaten to blow the high school up? I said, no. Oh, okay. And they left. I mean, it was that stupid. So they've made a whole fake story, like there was some kind of real story. There's no real story, fuckheads. But they're just doing it to imply pedophilia or something. I mean, this is how low and despicable these fuckers are. And you people, you don't care. You'll be best friends with one of these assholes. Steven Bro. What a fucking hunk of shit. Anyway, there's nothing to say. Fuck you people. Really. Just fuck you. When I get to the top of the hill, I'm going to do a lot of jumping up and down, on the assholes. Yeah. All right. Till the next time.